But now, in the space of just one human lifetime, all that has changed.
In the last 50 years, wildlife populations have on average declined by 60%.
For the first time in human history, the stability of nature can no longer be taken for granted. But the natural world is resilient. Great riches still remain. And with our help, the planet can recover. Never has it been more important to understand how the natural world works and how to help it. Wildlife still flourishes in astonishing numbers in a few precious places. Along the Peruvian coast of South America, seabirds congregate in colonies millions strong. They come here to breed. Every morning, the birds leave their colonies to fish in one of the richest seas on Earth. It is an astonishing daily migration of 5 million birds. Anchovies. The boobies carpet bomb the shoals. More and more birds join the feeding frenzy. In this immense assembly are here because a powerful oceanic current, the Humboldt, sweeps up from the Antarctic, bringing with it rich nutrients from the ocean's depths. 90% of the life in the oceans is found in the shallow seas close to the coast. Away from the land, the seas, for the most part, are a blue desert. But even these distant waters may be enriched by a most unexpected connection to the land. Some deserts, often hundreds of kilometers from the ocean, provide the raw materials for life.
Every year, winds sweep up 2 billion tons of dust into the sky.
At least a quarter of it eventually falls on the sea, providing nutrients needed by the microscopic organisms. That are the foundations of ocean life.
Dolphins explore the vast open ocean in search of the riches that distant deserts may have nourished.
A shoal of mackerel has discovered a swarm of krill. The small crustaceans that feed on the ocean's floating microscopic plants. But the mackerel themselves are food for the dolphins.
They drive the mackerel towards the surface and into the range of birds.
Shearwaters.
The wings that normally propel the birds through the air now drive them 6 meters down through the water. Once the birds pick off the top of the shoal, the dolphins attack the underside. After 20 minutes of feasting, the predators from both the sea and the air have had their fill.
The stability of life on our planet relies on such connections between different habitats. Water evaporating from the surface of the sea condenses to form great clouds. And these eventually release the fresh water as rain. But these life-giving rains are not evenly spread over the land. This vast salt pan in Africa is all that remains of an ancient lake. It's totally waterless and oven hot. Few places on the land are more hostile to life. A few tracks cross it, made by animals searching unsuccessfully for water. But very occasionally, this whole landscape is transformed. A huge deluge drenches the salt pan.
Triggered by some unknown signal, flocks of lesser flamingos arrive from thousands of kilometers away. The algae that the flamingos feed on have lain dormant as spores in the dust. But most importantly, the birds are here to breed. Perfect conditions might occur only once in a decade. They build mounds of mud that raise up their eggs and so keep them just marginally cooler than they would be at ground level. The water surrounding the island is so salty that predators do not venture into it. So the nests are safe. 30 days later, thousands of chicks start to hatch.
But there is no shelter from the scorching sun. The water that once surrounded their island, protecting them, has now dried up altogether. The last to hatch step out into a desperately harsh world. Somehow or other, the growing chicks must find fresh water to drink. They cannot yet fly, so they must walk, guided by some of the adults. They may have to trek for 50 kilometers. Some cannot keep up. The salt has solidified around their legs.
Most of the chicks, in spite of everything, and having walked for days, eventually reach fresh water.
It is the end of a long journey. But only the first of the trials that will be imposed on these flamingos by the irregularity of the rains. Both in numbers and variety.
The herds follow the seasonal rains, grazing on the newly sprouting grass that comes in their wake.
Each year, within a 3-week period, the females give birth to over 250,000 calves. Laying strengthens its legs for the long journey that lies ahead. The calf must stay close to its mother. Without her milk, it would starve. And the herds are always traveling, following the rains as they drift across the plains. Eventually, they reach woodlands. Hunting dogs. Wildebeest calves are a favorite prey. The dogs have incredible stamina. They need the calf on its own.